Welcome to another edition of Philly Stat Line, your high-frequency deep dive into the numbers moving the needle in Philadelphia sports. It is Saturday, June 6th, 2026. The winter postseason runs have faded, and we are fully entrenched in a summer calendar that is generating massive data points, heavy front office execution, and a massive, earth-shaking blockbuster trade that has completely altered the gridiron landscape in the city. We start down at Citizens Bank Park, where the Don Mattingly turnaround is officially holding its ground. Last night, Friday, June 5th, the Phillies opened a crucial home stand by edging out the Chicago White Sox 8-6 in an absolute slugfest. The analytical takeaway from last night's victory perfectly mirrors the team's broader seasonal trend. When the bats record hits, they win. The Phillies are now a staggering 24-6 in games where they register 8 or more hits. Kyle Schwarber led the charge with a spectacular 4-hit night, while Brandon Marsh delivered the definitive blow with a clutch 2-run home run. Bryce Harper continues to anchor the power metrics, bringing his season totals to 10 doubles, a triple, 14 home runs, and 36 runs batted in. With that victory, the Phillies improved to 34-29 overall and 18-16 at home, firmly holding second place in the National League East. While they still trail the division-leading Atlanta Braves by 8.5 games, their recent stretch of winning 8 of their last 10 games proves that the structural corrections implemented by Mattingly are yielding consistent positive results. The team looks to keep the momentum rolling this afternoon when they send young righty Andrew Painter to the mound for Game 2 against Chicago. Switching over to the basketball side of South Philly, the major front office restructuring is officially complete. On Thursday morning, June 4th, the 76ers formally announced the hiring of former Cleveland Cavaliers general manager Mike Gansey as the team's new permanent president of basketball operations. Gansey, who rose through the executive ranks in Cleveland over a 15-year tenure, was chosen by Josh Harris and interim lead Bob Myers to spearhead the next chapter of Sixers basketball following the dismissal of Daryl Morey. The 43-year-old executive is stepping directly into a high-stakes financial puzzle. Gansey is tasked with optimizing a highly top-heavy salary structure anchored by Joel Embiid and Paul George, while instantly maximizing the windows of young franchise pillars Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. The internal data science team has already transitioned into draft modeling and free agency projections, using high-volume catch-and-shoot efficiency metrics to identify bench targets ahead of a highly critical summer roster build. Finally, we head to the NovaCare complex, where the commencement of voluntary organized team activities was completely overshadowed by an absolute blockbuster trade that shook the NFL to its core. Out on Monday, June 1st, Howie Roseman executed a monumental shift in the team's long-term roster architecture by trading 3-time All-Pro wide receiver A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots. In return, the Eagles secured a first-round draft choice in the 2028 draft and a fifth-round pick in 2027. The financial and strategic numbers behind this move point toward an aggressive roster reset. By moving on from Brown, the front office frees up immense long-term cap flexibility, while immediately accelerating the timeline for their young receiving core. The structural fallout of the trade was felt instantly on Tuesday during the first open OTA session. With Brown gone, the wide receiver 2 position has become an open, high-frequency competition. First-round selection Mekhi Lemon is now stepping directly into the spotlight, competing for primary volume alongside off-season acquisitions Dontavian Wicks and Marquise Brown. Lemon, running reps in the number 9 jersey, showed sharp suddenness out of his breaks during 7-on-7 drills, drawing significant attention from the coaching staff. The session also provided a look at new defensive spacing metrics, though it started with a brief hiccup when linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. intercepted Jalen Hurts on the very first rep of 7-on-7 work. Off the ball, Saquon Barkley showed explosive lateral cuts in his opening sequences, establishing a strong physical baseline for Sean Mannion's updated offensive scheme. That is your Philly stat line for the week of June 6th, 2026. The A.J. Brown trade has completely reset the expectations for the fall. Gansey is officially at the helm of the front office, and the Fightin' Phils are building a summer surge. Catch us next Saturday for more high-frequency analytics and roster updates. Rep your city in style. The roster blocks are moving fast, but true Philly fandom never sleeps. Whether you are tracking the hit metrics down at the ballpark, digesting the massive news out of NovaCare, or breaking down the front office metrics, do it in the best streetwear in the city. Shop the latest identity-driven athletic gear and Philly-inspired designs at inkiq.shop/product category/Philly streetwear. That is inkiq.shop/product category/Philly streetwear.